Yes.
So we're back again.
Hey,
Part
and they
two-
come
part-
round the corner and find
part
you.
two.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Yes. That's when I need to get the really big pole with the really bright strobe.
Next time I'm down at the tank museum, I'll see if I can snaffle one for you. Because there's lots of tanks driving around with big poles and flashing lights on them. Oh, look, it's Elvis. Quick, I'll have that.
Yeah, I want to get one of them. I'd like to get one of those LED ones that they use with the magnetic mount that they use. People chuck on the tops of vehicles when they have to go on site.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But they are really bright, and because they're LED, they're they're nicely low power, aren't they?
Yes, they won't draw too much.
And I've got two stick carriers on the back of the chair, so I could get a couple of broomsticks, get a bit of galvanized checker plate, make a platform on the top of them, and just whack the thing straight on the top with a lipo with a decent sized lipo battery plugged into it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what were we talking about in part 1?
I
can't remember now. Anyone see
You're talking
Eric's
about
latest
GES.
video?
GES a little bit.
Dubai's latest video.
I don't watch that gentleman. I mean, really. That's like saying, oh, did you watch Bev last night?
No.
No.
Oh, I got some
I can
wonderful
only
burp
hear.
out
I
of
can
that.
only hear the phrase "level is horizontal" so many times.
I'm not going there. I'm not doing it. I won't. No.
I'm not forcing you to do anything you don't want to do.
That's what she said.
Oh, okay.
No, come on. No. I'd rather listen to nails being dragged down the blackboard than listen to his bloody voice.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I'd rather listen to cats screeching outside at 3 in the morning. Oh no, hang on, I've done that several times, yeah. Than listen to his bloody voice talking utter shite.
Or the foxes mating.
I tell you what, the best one. Have you ever had hedgehogs doing it? It sounds like somebody's walking past your house, but they're not actually moving. Yeah, because I mean, where I grew up on the main road, every now and then you would hear somebody walking past. They're walking from one village to the next after having been down the pub, and you hear that clump, clump, clump. But when you hear that noise and it doesn't fade away in the distance, you just hear this clump, clump, clump. That's 2 hedgehogs, apparently.
Never seen any hedgehogs around here.
We used to get quite a lot on the farm. We had to be very careful because we'd put traps down for the rats, and we used to have to make runs so that only a rat could get in there and spring the trap. Because if you got it wrong, you'd sometimes go and have a look at the traps and find you caught a hedgehog or something, which is unfortunate to say the least.
Yeah.
But yeah, we used to have and one house I used to rent outside Newmarket. I had a pair of owls who used to live near by, because you know the traditional sort of twit twoo. That's 2 owls. That's not one. That's one going twit and the other one's going doo. Yeah. Oh, you could hear it because it's like listening to an owl in stereo. I could hear one outside the front of the house and one outside the back of the house, and they're talking to each other all bloody night. It's like, yeah, give it a rest. After about 10 minutes of it, you go from thinking, oh, that's nice, it's owls, to like, shut up.
Who?
Just stop it. Yeah, and the screech of the foxes and all that. I'll tell you what, the countryside could be a bloody noisy place sometimes.
No, that's the other thing. I don't think I've ever seen a fox in the countryside. Loads in town, but not around the countryside so much.
Yeah, we used to see the odd fox slinking across the field, but yeah, I think more and more of them have headed into town because it's just an easier lifestyle for them, yeah, and safer, yeah, because There's a fox. Where's my 12 ball?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. They've learnt to keep away from out in the forests and everything. Head towards the town, it's safer.
But it's bizarre. They had this push over here of it was inoculations and killing off badgers because they were spreading TB and the like into the cattle, and they've stopped hunting badgers and keeping their numbers under control. And I guess for the first 30 years of my life, I'd never seen a badger. Now you see dead badgers on the side of the road everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know how many dead badgers I've seen in the last 15, 20 years, maybe 15 years. They're just anything Christ. I knew we had badgers, but I didn't realise we had that bloody many of them.
Yeah.
And they tend to be young'uns. They tend to be the juvenile ones. You don't see fully grown dead badgers on the side of the road, but you see the young'uns, particularly when they haven't actually gone black yet. Because over here, I think when they're young, they're still quite brown. They're brown and white, and then they become black. So yeah, see no end of them on the side of the road.
I remember about 10, 15 years ago reading an article of a farmer who had a badger set in a old railway embankment.
Yep.
And the top of the railway embankment had been turned, the old railway line had been turned into a bridleway.
Mm-hmm.
And the horse riders were suing him because the bridleway was not fit for horses to traverse because the badgers had buggered up the bank.
They were there first.
Well, it's illegal. It's illegal to interfere with the badger set, so he can't repair the track. But they're suing him for not repairing the track, and he was like, "Doesn't matter what he does, he's going to get fined lots of money."
Damned if you do and damned if you don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not fair. You know, I mean, yeah, they are protected. You can't do anything.
yeah. You really, really can't do anything at all. They're the most protected animal in the UK.
That and the great crested newt.
Yep.
Just ask the MOD. Cost them millions because somebody thought they'd seen one at Bryce Norton.
Oh God.
And the unicorns.
Well,
Nobody's killed a unicorn in thousands of years, so they're pretty protected.
yeah, I guess. Oh,
Or extinct.
we have a clue.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of
Oh, we have a
other
clue?
things in the peanut. Hey, Professor Phil. I don't know if it's
Hey, Prof.
I don't know if it's the sane corner, but it could be the safe corner. Yeah. I don't know. A couple of people are trying to be funny out there. How many flips does it take to screw a light bulb in? 2. One to hold the light bulb, and the other to turn the earth at 15 degrees per hour.
It's going to take you a bloody long time to change out light bulb.
Demonov's trying to be funny. An owl here said, "Twit, bugger off. It has irritable owl syndrome." I don't know.
Dear, oh dear. You go read out the clue?
I'm working my way down. Hey, Dan.
Okay. Oh, right.
I don't want to miss anything important.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it's already gone off.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. There you go. Yeah. Oh,
Oh, today's scientist is an American businessman, engineer, and co-founder of Intel Corporation. His namesake law is about the number of transistors on large-scale integrated. Is that supposed to be circuits? I'm just asking you.
You're just asking.
Yeah.
Asking.
Inquiring.
Yeah, I'm inquiring.
He's inquiring. I challenge you to get the K in the wrong place in that word.
Oh, okay.
I think
Fred.
that law was
I just wonder if he starts off with ASS, is how you spell that word. Yeah.
Beebol's insisting we should watch the debate.
What?
Debate
Who's
video.
Well, he was asking earlier on, have we watched the latest Eric
Yeah, there's the
Eric
link.
debate?
For, I'll grab the link.
I'll tell you now, he's wrong.
Yeah.
There you go.
Look how big
Whatever he
Clive-
says,
look how
he's
big-
wrong.
John. Yeah, we can guarantee that. I think my Google Phil was faster than
Oh,
Clive
it's
Wells.
okay. It's only going for 6 minutes, so we can squeeze that in.
Can we, after having to sit through the sheer torture of an Eric Dubay video, sort of have a like a palate cleanser by watching Lindsay?
Or do you want to watch Lindsay after that then?
It might make Lindsay a bit more bearable.
Oh, okay.
I don't know whether Lindsay's done anything once this week.
That's if I'm still awake.
Well, yeah. Eric Dubay.
Okay.
A god awful bloody voice. Why have all these idiots got stupid voices? Every
I
single flat
don't
earther's got a
know.
stupid voice.
All
I
right.
don't know what you're thinking about.
He's been listening to Bev, has he? Oh, jeez. That's going to be interesting. Now, how do we do this without doing that? We have that there.
Damn, it usually falls over.
No, this,
Square miles. Square miles.
we usually do that.
How can you have a square on a sphere?
And then...
Little buddy.
Oh,
No, not him.
I'm calling bullshit on all of that. Grown men understand how an area is calculated and presented.
Yeah.
Square miles doesn't mean it's a square.
okay.
I'm totally calling bullshit on that.
Why can't you see? What have I done wrong?
No, I know Nerd Alert, but I don't want to go into full. Just no.
That should be that.
Doesn't want to have a
Yeah.
on the internet.
Just no.
I've done it too many bloody times. Just no.
So I pin that, even though it's back to front in my eyes, but it won't matter.
Pin it so you can see it.
No,
Send
not.
it.
I don't need to see it, so you guys can see it.
Yeah. No, we can pin our vision.
Yeah, we can pin it in Zoom.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I think I play it that way.
In a
Don't
minute.
I? There. I thought it pinned for you to see it bigger if I pinned it here.
It used to, but
No,
it
no.
doesn't seem to now.
No.
Oh.
I think you
'Cause
can
whenever-
force the pin.
Whenever you pinned it, it went full screen, and I had to sort of go try and find the bit in the top right hand corner where I could.
Oh
Bring
yeah,
it
that's
back
what
down
happens
again.
when people do it to me. I have to reduce it back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it doesn't.
Well,
You don't seem to do that now. We have to pin it ourselves,
We're,
Oh,
we're
okay.
growing it. We're growing it up.
which is no great shakes. Yeah, we're adult enough to be able to cope with such technical.
Okay.
What's it?
We're not flat earthers
This is true.
who can't even join a Zoom call.
I can tie my own shoelaces. Thank you. Yeah.
Phil really,
don't-
really wants to know where
So,
Bev's,
so what
Bev's
accent did
accent's
Bev's
from.
accent come from? Go on to.
Uh,
Say it again, Terry.
Sorry, I was cutting you off at the middle of your sentence with the beginning of mine, was I, Turtle?
Yeah, that's why I said you said it again because we're saying the same thing. So you can say it again.
Was we?
Yeah.
so
Yeah, where's
Does
Bev's
anyone know?
accent come from? Phil wants to know, not me.
it's a northern accent, but I can't quite place it. It's somewhere north of Manchester, shall we say? That the real, but quite where I don't know. Can't quite place where his accent comes from.
So somewhere in the northwest, anyway.
Okay.
North. Because if it was northeast, that'd be Yorkshire, and it's not Yorkshire. It's northwest. It's in the Black Country somewhere, isn't it?
Well, Black Country's Midlands, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
Black Country's around Birmingham. Sorry,
no, it's
Birmingham.
Birmingham. No, he's much more north than that. I can't think what area of the bloody country you'd call that.
Could be Cheshire, somewhere like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, could be
And
somewhere
more
in the north, somewhere in the northwest. I think.
Cheshire, the outer environs of Liverpool.
More like Derbyshire.
Yeah.
No, there's no audio on the video yet, B-Bob, because I haven't got to start it yet.
Yeah.
I'll try again. Oh, don't do that.
Whee! Oh, that was nice. I like that.
Don't do that.
Doppler effect.
Where'd it go?
Somebody did that in a very famous music video in about 1975, and everybody thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can do it again if you want.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
It's when VFX started to come out and be easily available. They started in the 70s. They'd have all the video effects and all sorts of.
Where's our video controller tonight? He's not here.
It's
I was
kind
going
of
to say, I blame Beelzebub for that one.
You know the one I'm talking about.
Of course.
we could have our video controller number 2, which is Alan, who says when he gets a bit annoyed at it.
Yeah, but we haven't got desperate enough for me to shout, "Get on with it," yet, have we?
Not yet. Give it time.
We'll give it a moment.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say, Al?
Well,
Get on
given
with
that
it.
the stream could fall
Believers
over
are
at any
shocked
moment,
to learn
press
is
play,
that
Q.
so-called flat earthers
Well,
like
don't tell me.
myself
Tell everyone else to shut
actually
up.
agree that the Earth is not flat. The Oxford Dictionary defines flat, when used as an adjective, as being smooth and
Wait a minute,
even,
Bev's voice has
without
changed.
marked lumps or indentations. The Earth most certainly has lumps and indentations across its expanse in the form of
Unlike
hills,
your brain.
mountains, and valleys, peaks and troughs, from the heights of Mount Everest to the depths of the Mariana Trench, and in that sense, the world is definitely not flat.
Oh, sorry.
There is more than one definition of flat, however, and when used as an adverb, for example, the Oxford Dictionary defines flat as being in a horizontal position. When flat earthers call the Earth flat, not a single one is denying the existence of hills, mountains, and valleys, but rather
We know
we
that.
are affirming the Earth to
What,
be
so you
situated
can't have nothing
in
else
a
flat unless
horizontal
it's in a
position,
horizontal
as a
position.
level plane,
That's-
and denying
that's-
Are
the
the peanuts
existence
saying it?
of spherical curvature
Yeah.
claimed by globe defenders.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
the
should
be.
Earth may not be perfectly
think so.
flat, but one thing that always
I can't see
remains
why they
so
can't be.
are large bodies
Oh,
of
wait,
water
wait,
at
wait.
rest. The Earth
but-
is claimed to be approximately 71% covered in water, all of which is demonstrably horizontal and level.
No,
It
it's
is
not.
the natural
you lying
physics
twat.
of water and other liquids to remain
Oh, do I
flat
have to
when
listen to this?
contained
Oh, hang on,
and
I don't.
undisturbed.
No, you don't have
This
to.
fundamental physical property of water is why it has been used by builders and engineers as a leveling tool for millennia. Whether in a bucket,
Not
a
anymore.
bathtub, a pool, pond, lake, or ocean,
better way.
the surface of water at rest always remains horizontal and doesn't have the ability to show convexity or any shape whatsoever upon its surface. This
It does.
fact is easily demonstrable and empirically verifiable, but completely at odds with what we are told about the globe. If Earth was truly a
more like-
sphere, covered 71% in water, the oceans would have to be somehow curving around and sticking to all sides of a rapidly spinning ball suspended in space.
Rapidly spinning.
In reality, it is simply impossible to make water behave
Oh,
this way,
dear.
as anyone can experiment for themselves.
Not if you have
Bodies of
Well,
water
it's going
will
thousands
not
of kilometres
stick
an
to the
hour, so
underside
it
of
must
a
be
ball
fast.
and cannot show convexity or any other shape upon their surface. Furthermore, while the entire Earth may not be flat, vast expanses ranging hundreds of miles, from the Great Plains of America to the salt flats of Bolivia, do not vary in elevation more than a few inches or a few feet over their entirety. For example, the Pampas of South America form a bare horizontal surface of nearly 1,000 miles from the Andes to the Atlantic. The Llanos of the Orinoco form a plain of grass larger than the entire country of France, 250,000 square miles, as flat as the surface of the sea. The area between the Carpathian and Ural Mountains also exhibits nearly a perfectly dead level, scarcely rising at all over its 1,500 miles. In a 2003 experiment done by university geography professors using topographical geodetic surveys, found
What
that the
university?
state of Kansas in America was actually flatter than a pancake. Measuring with a confocal laser microscope, the flatness ratio of a pancake figured to 0.957, whereas the entire state of Kansas, covering 80,000 square miles, was determined to have an incredible flatness ratio of only 0.9997, making it literally flatter than a pancake. The Bolivian salt flats cover an area of 3,900 square miles, so flat that after rainfall, a thin layer of dead, calm water transforms it into the world's largest mirror, perfectly reflecting the sky over its entire expanse. In fact, every continent on Earth actually features plains several hundred miles in extent, so much so that the National Geographic Society claims more than one-third of the world's land areas are plains. This means that in addition to the 71% of Earth's landmass that is covered in flat, level water, approximately another one-third of the remaining land areas are also flat and level, giving a grand total of over 80%. Therefore, the question globe believers should be asking themselves is, if over 80% of the Earth is proven to be covered in flat plains and level water, how could it possibly be a sphere? And if over 80% of the Earth is empirically and demonstrably composed of flat lands and flat water,
100%.
where is the sense and reason in assuming the remaining 20% to be globular?
I have a statement to make at the end
The
of this.
remaining lands are composed of hills, mountains, and valleys, which are admittedly not flat, but with changes in elevation always in relation to sea level and a horizontal horizon. So the Earth may not be 100% flat, depending on which definition you're using, but it is certainly at least 80% covered in flat lands and flat water. And the remaining 20%, no matter how you try to squeeze and force fit it into the heliocentric model, is impossible.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Trying to be funny at the end there.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Can I just say, Beeble, you utter wanker.
It was sort of like, okay, we can show relatively flat areas, so therefore that proves the whole planet is flat. It's like, even if the 100 was 100%, that wouldn't prove it was flat.
I can't believe we just sat through that.
It's the same old flat is level confusion bullshit they do.
You reckon I should time B-ball out for that?
Yes.
Not his fault.
But the Earth's not flat. I've got proof.
Maybe I was a bit slow in the uptake.
Jeez.
Go on.
Jeez.
Go on, babe. Good.
Okay. Don't do that again, farmers.
Sorry.
Hey, you do that again, and I'm going to hit you in the face with a shovel. Stop it.
That'd be better than somebody's facepalm cannon thing.
I'm going to palm your face. Jesus.
Sorry, I stubbed my throat.
I realised I was a bit slow up on the uptake with Bev. That his whole thing is about not saying stuff, not about saying stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's.
I was listening to him. He said, "I never said that verticals are parallel."
Right.
He did. Oh no! He never actually said it. He said everything else except that.
Correct. That's why I'm certain that everything he does is deliberate. Everything's an act. Everything's thought out, planned, well rehearsed. Yes, he is a moron, obviously, but his entire shtick is thought out and planned, and it's done very carefully.
He didn't plan to be a moron, though, did he?
No, I don't think he planned to be a moron. I think that's just that
comes
that's
naturally.
that's the hand that life dealt him, I'm afraid. And you can only play with the cards you were dealt. But his whole thing, this whole Earth's not flat, I've got proof. And when you talk about Earth, he's assuming literally, as in not the planet, because as far as he's concerned, there isn't a planet as such. Yeah, everything is carefully thought out, and it's a routine that he goes through. And he's already admitted that he takes great delight in doing this to wind people up. So, and then he says, "Oh, I want people to come and have an honest conversation." Well, that starts with you, Bev. How about you being honest for once in your life?
Well, we did try to have a conversation with him at one point.
Yeah, it's impossible to have a reasoned conversation with the guy because that's not what he's there for. He's starting out to being dishonest, and it goes on from there.
It didn't
What he
take
wants to
him
do is get somebody in like he did Charles last night and yell at Charles.
Oh, did he? How can you yell at Charles? He's such a nice bloke.
No shit. That's like yelling at Bambi, for God's sakes.
Yeah, you can't do it. Well, I couldn't.
At this point, I'd like to read out a modified quote that Timbo found. I'm going to modify it a bit, though. It goes like this. When you're dead, you don't know you're dead. The pain is felt by others. The same thing happens when you are Bev.
Yes, that re-quote from whatever the bloody film is, where the kid says, "I see dead people." Yeah, I see stupid people.
The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, that's it. Sixth Sense. Thank you. But they don't. They don't know they're stupid. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Bev. I hope he's listening.
I don't know. Is he down in his Discord? He might be.
Don't know. Don't care. Guy's
I
an
don't think
idiot.
we're flavour of the month at the moment.
Oh no.
Well, he is down in his Discord. He's got a couple of people down there.
Yeah, check it out.
Post a link to the latest video down there for me.
Yeah.
I?
It should. Oh dear.
Yeah. So apparently 100 times 100 is 1,000, which.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching that this morning whilst having my breakfast, and I had to be bloody careful not to spew my crunch nut cornflakes all over my laptop.
Yeah.
Just,
And if it's
what did he say?
And if it's measured in square miles, it must be square.
Right.
Yeah.
Now we had Mikey doing that the other day in Discord. Now I'm convinced this is all just part of the game, because I'm sorry, no grown man who can function as a human being and has even the most basic of education that thinks square miles must be square.
Have to be square.
Square.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm calling bullshit on that. He's stupid, but he's not that bloody stupid. That's got to be part of the game.
I think that part really is genuine stupidity on his part.
Ooh, that's stupid.
Oh, that's cool.
That really is stupid.
I really think he is that stupid.
It's never twigged with him that when someone refers to square feet or square miles or that it's
there's a much better video coming. I just didn't have time to make it last night. But yeah.
Oh, spoiler alert!
It has to do with circles. You will not believe that one.
Oh dear.
It's going to be glorious.
I bet watch that one whilst not eating or drinking. Then
I worked out with circles is that why I personally think reason why Mike is so ridiculous over it is because he just cannot go against something that Bev said. And Bev said he can't draw circles on his feet.
Oh, he's got a very, very trusted band of acolytes, Hazard Bev, because you will never hear one of them say anything that disagrees with anything he comes out with.
Yeah.
But that's pretty common in all of these flat Earth channels. I mean, you go and no, I'm actually suggesting you do this, but were you to go and watch Nathan Oakley, don't do it, kids. You won't hear any of them argue with him. And they're all the same. You go watch Globebusters. They won't argue much. Somebody will say something bloody stupid, and they'll just sit there and go, "Yeah, you're right." Yeah. Instead of just one going, Hang on a minute.
I've seen it, but it's always by someone who's outside the group, like outside the main call.
Occasionally Arwen argues with him. Once in a while.
Oh, yeah, I suppose Arwen does.
But
yeah, you won't.
But
certainly in Bev's group, no. I've never heard one of them. Never heard one of them argue with
yeah, Nathan will put up with it for a little bit, and then Arwen gets his pee-pee whacked and slithers back off into his corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, that's how I've ever heard of Arwen. It's just he starts to say something that, and then he just gets told. Shut up.
He does often. Oakley will be off on one, and he's in full flow, and then Arwen will try and interrupt, and even I'll sit there and think, no, just what are you doing? You're going to get slapped down because he's off on one, and he doesn't want to be interrupted, especially by you. It's the classic. When you're dating and you sit around the dinner table, and your other half who's opposite you is about to say something, and you just give them that gentle nudge under the table. You just kick their ankles as if to say, And then they go, what'd you kick me in the ankle for?
Yeah, exactly.
I had one do that once. I tapped her in the ankle. She said, what'd you do that for? And I just went, she was digging a hole and she couldn't see it.
Yeah. Oh, here's the patient. We've been patiently waiting for the patient.
Do you wait for the patient?
Ooh. I was going to say, how are you? But
yeah, we can tell by you. Yeah, we don't have to ask.
Yeah, well, I'm heading in the right direction, but I'm definitely not well yet. But this is a horrible, stubborn old thing. This thing.
At least you're going in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, Doc reckons it's just a virus. You've just got to wait out really the rest of the symptoms. He's given me an inhaler for the cough. Not that it does much good. But I noticed from yesterday, the cough's not as intense, but it still keeps him awake at night. Stuff like that.
Don't forget to mute yourself if you're going to cough.
Yeah, well, yeah, don't worry.
Okay.
If I do it in time.
You don't want to catch it.
You don't want to catch it, eh?
What, through one of these? Oh, that'd be nasty.
In Euro.
Oh, yeah.
Bit of mucus in here. No, I won't go there. That's right.
Nice.
Well, we were wondering where our audio directive. Oh shit! It sounded better in my head before I said it.
That again.
Yeah.
That again.
How is everybody?
Yeah, we're okay. I am.
Well, we're a little bit worse for wear. We just listened to today.
Oh yeah, you want me to replay it?
Oh no, thanks.
Right.
What?
Bummers is off.
Well, we could.
What was he talking about in general? Just a general brief of what.
Well, I thought it was somebody else, but his voice had changed, but it wasn't. It was.
It was today, was it?
I'll tell you. Hang on a minute, Lou. This is a warning.
Do it.
This is a
Blue.
Don't do
I'm only asking for a general synopsis, like
say it, but say it in Debay's voice.
I can't do Debay.
You can't do Debay.
I can't. Unfortunately, one of the few voices I can do is that bloody man.
You can't do that single monotone voice then about Debay. Well, if it's one of his latest videos, then I'll.
He's basically making the argument that the Earth isn't flat because hills, mountains, valleys, blah blah blah.
Yeah, where do you get that from?
The opposite of that, actually. He's making the argument that the Earth is flat because the majority of Earth, about 70% of the Earth actual landmass, is plains. And thus,
that's right, plains and water, and of course, water is provably flat.
Water, yeah.
I don't know who proved that anywhere ever, but
okay.
But B-ball is off my Christmas list.
Yeah,
because it was his insistence that we watched. Oh, watch this video. Watch Debay's latest video.
Blame.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Blame B-ball, Matt.
Oh, good on you, B-ball. I like B-ball. I like his videos. I like his stuff. Good.
I like Beeble's videos, but I don't like his bloody suggestions.
Well, who are we going to blame for
And
this
you've got some
next video
suggestions from
then?
him by the sounds of it.
Blame me. I
blame
need
you.
a palate cleanser.
Well, this is going to really mess with you now. Then, if you
Well, actually, it's because I've got
Yeah.
defective mug again. So
Yeah. Some of us need to go and fill our mugs up, don't we?
yeah, I think it's that
Yes.
time to go and do those chores that you were being putting off.
Oh, is it that time already? Is it?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's that time already. So Matt goes and mutes himself.
he's off. He's gone. I know what's coming out of it.
I had you told me to mute if I had a cough, so I just did.
Okay. Can you press play? Can you say the press play thing before you cough?
What, you think I've got a recording of it, do you?
Yeah.
I press the button. Well, I press play in order to say press play.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, there you go. Let's press play.
Welcome, people. Welcome to the Tomb of Illumination. The Tomb of Illumination.
Where
Change
Aren't
the
we gonna
game.
get to see it then, Terry?
El
Oh, that
is
would
the
be
same as
handy, wouldn't
IL.
it?
In Hebrew, it's God, godly. Godly illumination.
Did he say
Lovely.
tomb? Did you
It was
say
put up
tomb
initially
of
of the
illumination?
illumination because ill.
Yeah.
It's opposite illumination.
his YouTube
False
channel
one.
is now.
It's more of an English translation, but if you go back to the original illumination, I could have still stuck with illumination because it's the same thing as godly. So we're talking about the flat Earth design here.
He's trying to explain
Etymology
why
of the
he
Garden of Eden. There's a fine enclosure.
Explain.
It still
This
didn't
is
make it
here.
any better.
So today's video is about the Milky Way and describing the whole flat Earth system now because I have the complete picture of the Earth. I didn't quite have it. It's something was bugging me and I finally figured it out. It was bugging me since I read the Iliad because the Iliad describes the whole tropical gap, the whole system, the whole recycling, the vacuum, expansion of the molecule, everything. It's all in the Iliad that no one can see. I can interpret it all, so I know it's all truth because all esoteric knowledge, so it's truth. So I know it's right, so I create the model to suit that information, and it's come together beautifully. It's the ultimate. So everyone needs to get on board with this flat Earth design. So hopefully you can see
Yeah,
this.
there you go. You have to get on
It's
board
the
with
flat
it.
Earth I've drawn there.
Mm.
You've got the tropical gap all the way around this area here.
Farmers is missing all the good
Most
stuff.
important part of our flat Earth design that science never talked about. I was the first person to bring up the tropical gap and how it all works. How it's the dielectric gap in the Earth's magnetic field that creates a divergence in the
Dielectric
avoidance
gap.
zone.
What's it?
When the two hemisphere magnetic fields come, they don't merge at the tropics. They avoid each other, which causes the magnetic field to swerve away
Get
more.
inside that
So it
dielectric.
swerves away more rapidly each side. So on a compass bearing, you're travelling more east or south, depending on which hemisphere you're in. Oh no, they're both travelling more east, which stretches out further. So you're moving more east than you are north or south. And this is where they come up with the spinning ball BS of the equator being wider on a ball, on their ball model. But it's not, it's just the magnetic field. If you follow the compass bearing, it veers off more to the west, okay? So I've explained this plenty of times anyway, but anyway, let's get back to it. So this is it, got the magnetic fields curving into the tropical zone of Cancer there, and you've got the north curving into the tropical of Cancer. There's an avoidance zone around here. These fields shoot back down through the Earth and come back up the opposite poles. Okay, there's one pole, one north pole, plenty of south poles. Every man on Earth has his own image of in his arc of horizon, of a south pole. So you could say it's south all the way around here. They're just everywhere. It's a returning cycle. Comes over, down through the Earth, out to here, back up and over, through the Earth, and pops out again in the centre north, which is here. So in the centre north, we have to go back to my original, very early on, pictures of the creation of Earth, and go back to what many guys have had before, is where the two forces come together, the negative and the positive.
A lot of magic going on.
The two forces in nature, the duality, and bingo, there's a gap between the two fields here. Bang. This is why science says it's the Big Bang, because bang, Earth was instantly created. Might have taken a few days to grow something. But human, everything, animals were all there, 2 by 2, as in duality. The whole system's a duality.
Instant.
A
Everything was
whole
there.
realm
Earth,
is a dual
humans,
system,
animals,
male
everything.
and female, a duality. So bang, Earth is created. So that's the centre Arctic. Okay? So my video's wandered away from this thinking, well, we've got that there, Earth is there, so we then break it down again and have it all up here as a dual system up here. But it's not quite right. It's like this. As my earlier videos show, is this vortex in here above the Arctic centre with all the stars in it. It's a magnetic field, right, you could say, a type magnetic field. But at the same time you have to think of electrical and what we know in capacitance and currents and electrical engineering. The circuit, it's got a cross circuit. It cross circuited and bang, creates the voltage. Okay? At the top. And this is basically the horizon of the black hole. All the action is around the horizon of the black hole, and that's where the voltage, the sun sits. Right there, big bulgy sun, which gives it the egg shape. Whoop. The head of the body. The, what's the word? Elliptic. Look. So that's the actual sun back there, right? And
Was he trying to think of ecliptic?
And this is how we see it in our night sky. You see that this curving
like
field like this. But we see, I mean, during the day, our sun is at the other end of it. It's sticking out here in the tropical gap. It's out here above the tropics. That's during the day. You can't see all this, can you? During the day. But at night, we see the back. At night, we don't see the sun, right? But we see the back of the original sun, the actual sun, sitting in the Milky Way. So obviously saying there's a black hole in the Milky Way.
So is the vortex below it? Is the vortex below it? Is that the dielectric bit? Is it?
Studying this
So
stuff.
at night we see the.
But
back
I
of
don't
the
think
sun.
we can say that now.
Yeah.
Because it's not really in the black hole.
Like the dark side.
Yeah, the dark side
The sun
of
is
the sun.
created on the horizon of the black hole. So if you can see this, it comes down here, shoots up, bang, you got the spark here. But this is the non-physical. We don't see any of that. Okay? Except at night you'll see this Milky Way and all these stars in here light up.
Well, how
at
do we
night,
not see
reflect
one
up
thing,
on the
but then we
ceiling,
can see
flat
something else?
Northern
Okay.
hemisphere sky, and then you get the parabolic image
'cause you're
of the
allowed
curving
to.
southern sky. So
But it's
you have
supposed to be
understand the two
projected
systems, the seen and the
as
non-seen.
well, so
So the seen is our photons, the sun at the end of the Milky Way. Okay, and all that's non-physical. So you go back to Romans 1:20. What's it got here? For the invisible thing of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood. So they're visible, but clearly seen out in our realm. Clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even this eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. So that we have to understand by these images, they're all for signs, the stars and the planets, everything out in our realm, all come back from in here.
Sorry, fine, let's
Around
go
this
back to
horizon
okay.
is the ecliptic plane and all that, reflected out into our realm. So this is the Milky Way, this is the knee. The knee joint that was mentioned in the Iliad. Okay? So now it has to go like this. This is how we see it appear in.
Oh, you
out
missed a
here in
bit,
the south.
Farmer. I'll
You see it
rewind
curved
it.
And it comes around, when it swings right across
No, I
the
heard
top of you,
it.
it's straight.
Ah.
Because it's going straight into the centre
Those
hole
dead
above your
headphones
head. But otherwise, if it's coming over your arc of horizon, your dome, because of this dome shape, you get this curve till it straightens, then curves away again as it moves west. So this point down here on Earth is this point here. There's Earth. It's the two systems, the positive and the negative. Below Earth is the negative. So, and this is the Milky Way that comes in here like this. And this is how we have to see it. This is the Milky Way. This is the helix. So you see the two, why there's two snakes is because we have the tropical gap. So this is man's arc of horizon, but that tropical gap, if you take the Earth on a whole,
I don't think Lindsay's
say
seen
from the
a
north to
time
the
lapse
south,
of a
you're going
the
to have the
Milky
centre
Way on an equatorial mount.
tropical gap,
No.
right? There's the two sides, the two walls described in the Iliad. And I've just read a physics article. They've been talking about all my stuff here, just on the slide. I'll read it to you if the camera doesn't run out. This is what we have too. A system like this, the double snake system going up the totem pole. Or you can call that one big totem pole with two sides, right? You've seen this in the natives, the Red Indians, a lot of other cultures, South America. You see these patterns and all that. That's it there. That comes across over into the Milky Way. That is the Milky Way. It's the helix. Okay? So we can't say there's a black hole in this Milky Way really, because it comes from the black hole. But our image of the sun has come from here, which is on the horizon of the black hole. So do we say there's a black hole in the Milky Way?
I don't know,
Maybe
Lindsay. You're telling the story.
So, and then you've got to look at our sun, and because we now are images of creation, you have to realise this is what's happening with our sun. This is another image that probably you might see on Google one day, because they pinch all these metaphysical concepts. Like they've taken the, they've taken the, not quite like that, but they've taken that symbol in their metaphysical. You've seen that. What's that other one? Can't remember. They've even got this on the World Soccer Federation, the sun down the lemma on the World Soccer Federation logo, or whatever it is, World Soccer Tournament. So this is what is our sun. The magnetic fields.
I don't know where
he's
he's going there.
Up above,
I don't know either.
are spiralling around the sun. So this is another thing. See, Santos Benassi mentioned the sun was a hole a few years back, and I couldn't figure that out. It's finally dawned on me, because now I know that all the 7 wandering stars are focal points, which is 0-point energy. It's the photon creates the pitch of the photon. So it's basically the hole, because all the action is around the horizon of that object, that image. That's the resting state. This is the holy place, the resting state. This is what creation is all about. It's a resting state. Creates perfection. This is how Earth came about. Perfection. So it basically is a whole. The sun is lit up with the light around it like this, which creates the image. So all the actions around, we don't see the resonant frequency. That's what it's based on, all frequencies, right? And that's the image we're seeing in the middle.
Don't see the resonant
Same with all the planets. It's the lowest vibrational state.
Oh.
It's just word salad.
So,
Yeah, it is.
so once again, you've got all the action around the black hole, creating the real sun back here. And in our realm, you've got the magnetic field rushing in, shooting around, creating the image we see. The two systems. Get that? So there's the Milky Way. Let's start reading some of the stuff I've written. And at the same time, you've got we have the central vortex that's going like this, spiraling up and down. Spirals up, spirals down over one day, 24-hour day. So there's only a couple of turns. It just goes, spirals up, and then comes back down, up and down, once per day. And at the same time, the Milky Way is moving, but the Milky Way's rolling 1 degree per day. Not even that.